Mr. Sammy Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't intend to spend a long time referring to or looking at the political and parliamentary skullduggery and chicanery that we have reached or had to go through to get this motion here today. Sufficient to say that we are breaking the legislation and ignoring the legislation that this House passed in order, on the day that we were meant to be leaving the EU, to comply with a deadline which has been imposed on us by the European Union. And I think there is a certain irony in that. As far as the withdrawal agreement is concerned and the motion before us is concerned, our position has not changed. We have sought to, over the last number of weeks, to work with the government to try and find a way of either getting legal assurances or legislative changes which would enable us to move this process on. Because, of course, we want to see a deal, because we want out of the European Union, and we want to have a clear path as to how we do that. But it has not been possible. And it has not been possible, Mr. Speaker, because the withdrawal agreement itself so ties the hands of this government that it is impossible to find a way of securing the kind of assurances which are required to, first of all, make sure that the United Kingdom is not broken up, and secondly, that we do have a clear way of ensuring that the Brexit, which many of us expected to see delivered, will be delivered. And it's our regret that that process has reached an end. In the Alice in Wonderworld land that we are now living in, the Attorney General said today that this is not a meaningful vote. Well, let me say, Mr. Speaker, this is a meaningful vote to many people who want to see the delivery of our exit from the EU. It's meaningful to the people of Northern Ireland, because if this goes through, the people of Northern Ireland will find themselves stuck with a legally binding agreement which keeps Northern Ireland and puts Northern Ireland outside the United Kingdom and could be there forever at the insistence of Brussels. And despite what and I know she was going to intervene, but she's had time and time again, but despite what the Honourable Lady for North Down has said, she tries to cover and dress up her pro-EU prejudice with a justification that this agreement has no implications for the principle of consent. Has no implications for the, and I'll give way. Yes.
To the Honourable Gentleman.